Hey DJ, spin that
Football question for you. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, I think he's one of the most respected in the game. What's it like working with Ben Johnson?
It's awesome. He's one of the brightest coaches I've ever been around. He's super intelligent. He's one of the hardest working coaches. I mean, he's in his, in his dungeon, we call it, where he, goes over, makes his plays, watches film, whatever he does in there. He's in there all the time, dissecting defenses, trying to get a beat on what they're doing, what they like to do. He's been awesome to me. I love Coach Ben Johnson. I don't think without him, I would, this whole thing would have started from him. He's part of the reason why, towards that back half of my rookie year, I started getting more targets and more things going my way was because of him. So, I can't thank him enough. Obviously, there's other factors that go into it, but he was a huge part of it. And man, I love having him, on our coaching staff, calling our plays. I have full confidence in whatever he calls the game plan every week, because I know he puts the work in, and that's something I respect. Because me myself, I like to pride myself on my work ethic and how hard I work. And so when you have a coach that's working, timeless hours on trying to get his guys in the right place to make plays, you can do nothing but respect it and go out there and give it your all.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It's been really fun to watch the entire Lions offense under Coach Johnson with yourself. It's been amazing.
The rest of my screen recording.
Yeah. You opens your porn tab by accident.
Basically, that's Amon-Ra St. Brown just kind of giving Ben Johnson his due credit for the way the offense is ran. He said, obviously Amon-Ra is performing very, very well, but it wasn't until Ben Johnson got incorporated with calling the plays for the Detroit Lions offense, or at least drawing up the plays for the Detroit Lions offense, dating back to 2021, that he started to shine like this. And I've been a proponent of that. I've been telling this to people nonstop, no matter what. You could hear it in the post-game press conferences when they first beat the Minnesota Vikings. They were like, yo, what's different? You guys finally got to win. Remember that year might have been the first team to go 1-17. It wasn't looking good. And every single buddy, it wasn't just Amon-Ra St. Brown. It would be Jared Goff, post-games of the few they won. They would credit Ben Johnson for what the wrinkles he's been putting in the offense. And obviously, takes over the offense full-time last year. And they're, top 3, top 5 they finished with? It's Ben.
There's a reason for it. There's a reason this guy is getting head coaching interviews. There's a reason everybody talks about him so highly. It's because he knows what he's doing. He has a complicated scheme that defensive coordinators have still yet to figure out. It's impressive to watch him get guys integrated into the system fast. We talked about Sam Laporta, how much success he's having. When the tight end position in this scheme is notoriously hard to pick up on because of all the different things they ask you to do, whether it's motioning off of the line, back into the line, whether you're blocking, doing different things, and all the route packages that tight ends have to deal with, it's hard to pick up for them, and Sam Laporta has come in swimmingly. Jahmyr Gibbs has come in swimmingly. These guys come in here, and Ben Johnson gets the best out of them. Most of them, except for J-Mo. Oh, J-Mo! But I'm really excited with what Ben Johnson is creating here, with what he has already created and what he's going to continue to do. I just hate to see him, leave for a head coaching job, which is starting to look like a real possibility.
For something in me, and I could be wrong, because I thought he was leaving last year. So I talk about, when I was wrong, when I was right. I was wrong about Ben Johnson leaving, going to the Carolina Panthers, and thinking he was going to have his opportunity to pick a quarterback. Turns out David, I forget his last name, but the owner of the Carolina Panthers is a psychopath.
Yes.
He is a totalitarian by every means.
Tyrant.
They didn't even want. I remember during the draft process, Josh McCown's the quarterback coach, and when he left the meeting with C.J. Stroud, he was like, can't wait to get you in Charlotte, and we'll play a game of hoops and all that, because they wanted to draft C.J. Stroud. Obviously, looks like they knew what the hell they were doing, because C.J. Stroud looks phenomenal right now.
Yes, he does.
Put up better numbers than our guy Jared Goff. Then they put David Tepper name, I think it is. I don't know. You want to look it up. Either way, he forced him to draft Bryce Young. And here you are, the Panthers. I can't guarantee that the Panthers would have been any better. I can guarantee they wouldn't be in the playoffs.
David Tepper,
thank you. I can't guarantee they would have been any better in the playoffs or anything like that, but definitely would have been better off with freaking
C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
With a quarterback who's not 5'2".
So imagine having the respect of Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator across the league, by the way, too. It's not just here in Detroit as fanboys, as people kind of are with every player here. And I get it. We're all fans of the team. We kind of overhype some people. But Ben Johnson is well regarded across the entire league. He was going to get a head coaching job after just 1 year of coordinating for that reason. But I think it was David Tepper that stopped him from wanting to do that.
Yeah.
So wait, you tarnish my name that I just built? No, hell no. Ben Johnson would have been cooked if he went there.
Yes.
Year one, it's Bryce Young.
Oh, for sure.
It was no good.
It's terrible when you see an owner step in and like pull strings like that or pound his fist. Like, I never liked that because you're hiring these guys. You put them in place because they know more than you. Like, yeah, you're the owner, you've got the money, but these guys do this for a living. These guys are there every day. These guys know what they're looking at. They know more than you. So if an owner just thinks that they can control everything and make all the decisions and it'll be for the betterment of whatever it is, in this case, it's an NFL football team. If the owner thinks that they know best and what they say is bond and they're going to make the decisions no matter what the people around them are telling them, they're a bad owner. And that's what David Tepper has been proven to be. Because outside of that 1 year with Cam Newton and his MVP season, what have the Panthers been? I know they got into the Super Bowl before that too, but I don't know if he was the owner back then.
No, he wasn't.
And it's tough, man.
He recently bought them.
Yeah. When you're known, like McAfee talks about it all the time. This guy is one of the like most impatient owners in football.
Yeah.
He's going to fire these guys. He's going to move on. And you got to have faith in the guys you hire. You got to have faith in your GM, your coach, and different people. If you have multiple people looking at you saying CJ Stroud is better, CJ Stroud is the best option here, and you've said freak out and say, no, we're taking Bryce Young, look what happens, man. It's just a terrible decision by him, and it's bad ownership.
It is bad ownership. It's one of those things, like maybe we'll let time play out and maybe we're the ones that end up wrong, but as of now, it's everything that you said. Like, if you hire certain people to do a certain job, and whether through experience on the job that you've given them now or in the past, they probably know more than you at the task at hand.
Yes.
And you like sprinkle in like what you may think, but let them do what they're doing, especially if they're showing you a proven recipe beforehand. And obviously Frank Wright failed in the Colts, but that's another owner that's kind of like that too. I mean, he bought a freaking whale.
Irsay bought a dead whale.
Bought a whale before he paid
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
Though, I do think Jim Irsay's a better owner than Tepper at this far.
Yes.
He's won a Super Bowl, obviously, and Pat McAfee seems to like him. I like that he's giving $100 bills out at camp. I like
silver suit.
That. And also, Zach Moss was
balling.
Looks phenomenal. Yeah. He might not have been wrong.
Yeah.
When he was talking that shit. Zach Moss looks phenomenal. I mean, he's as good as Jonathan Taylor is. He knows how to split carries with Zach Moss because he had the time to prove himself. But either way, it just comes down to, I'm glad I can see why Ben Johnson stayed. He's going to stay here another year, build your resume more.
And now he's probably going to have more options because Brandon Staley more than likely is getting fired. Josh McDaniels is already fired. We know that there's 4, 5, 6 head coaching options, head coaching openings in the NFL almost every year. So he's going to have a couple places to choose from that are better than the Carolina Panthers, and that's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah. I know, I think it was a morning show. They said that Kellen Moore would probably get a gig over and Ben Johnson over there in L.A.
That would make sense.
I guess, but I'd still take Ben Johnson. All due respect to Kellen Moore, former Detroit Lion, shouts out to him, but I feel like we've seen Ben cook up with less versus Kellen Moore, who kind of had that stacked Dallas team to work with when he had his come-abouts. And to be honest about it, too, I know Herbert's putting up better numbers in golf right now, but they're still 4-4, you know? And he's part of the coaching staff. Chris, you want to say something?
I just wanted to bring another possible candidate for this, and that's for Ben Johnson's hiring, and that's the New England Patriots, depending on how that season plays out with Belichick. Is he going to walk away and try to chase the wins through another team, a team that's more ready to contend so he can get that coaching record for wins, or is he going to just retire? And, it depends. It probably wouldn't look like a good situation, but maybe if the draft shakes out right for them and they can get one of those top quarterbacks, then maybe that is more appealing than some of the other options for Ben Johnson.
I don't know. I feel like the Patriots spot right now is a terrible, terrible situation.
Maybe a rough spot.
You have no offensive weapons. Mac Jones is trash.
Yeah.
No receivers that are any good. I like Ramondre Stevenson, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a team that would that could potentially be just available, and if it's again, it's what Ben Johnson wants. If you can get in maybe he wants to build an offense from the entire ground. Maybe he wants to take a long coaching contract and be able to cycle through multiple drafts and build this offense from the very core, the very foundation. Or maybe he's going to look at an offense like you've seen around the league, like the Chargers.
I know exactly where he'd be going. It's Atlanta. Fuck New England.
Arthur Smith?
Bijan Robinson. Yeah, Arthur Smith needs to get canned after Joshua Dobbs ripped his soul out like that. But Ben Johnson with Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. I mean, you talk about a guy who's making tight ends work in the rookie year.
Yeah.
Maybe he could fix Kyle Pitts.
He could
see
fix
something
Kyle
like that.
Pitts.
Drake London. I mean, you're really just missing a quarterback if you have to thug it out for a year without one. But
Yeah.
there's a lot coming in this draft class. None you have to like attach to to make your franchise guy. That's the beautiful thing about it too. Is like you grab somebody this year, that doesn't make them more like, oh, we have to lock in with this guy. This is it. This is our route we're going. By the way, real quick before you go to break, if Ben left, would you be a fan of like wherever he went? Would you be?
Yeah, I mean, I'd root for him.
I would too.
Sure.
Outside of the NFC,
Yeah.
I'll put that regard on. I rooted against Stafford when he was in LA. I'll put you that way. If Ben was in the NFC, I can't root for him. I'll just root for him until.
I'd root for him, just not against the Lions.
Yeah, that's fair.